Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
We are back. We are back with another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Matt, Shane, and Jason with you guys on this lovely, windy, crispy evening here in Kansas. Jason told us before the podcast that it is windy there in Lubbock, Texas as well. We are so happy to be back with another episode of the pod, the Parlay Fade episode. How you guys doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic, and I'm just blown away to see your guys' beautiful faces today, and blown away by the fact that we did in fact go positive last week with all the carnage. So hey, that's a good sign. Didn't get caught by the public trap. That was the key. And Jason looks to be frozen.
Yep, it was a very.
Oh, Jay, are you there, brother?
Am I back?
Well, we can hear you.
Yeah,
we can hear you, but your face is frozen. And there it is.
There you are. Hello.
Okay, we're back. Hey, it was a very interesting week last week. It was saddening to see my Texans go down with Diggs and whatnot. But hey, we did, like Shane said, go positive. It's going to be another good week. Matt, unfortunately, got lucky as hell with our head-to-head thing, and it's still sickening to me right now. But it is what it is. He's going to talk his shit, and we'll just go from there.
Hold on. One may say the Texans are now gone with the wind. Sorry, I had to do it.
Ching!
Yeah. Dad jokes on lock. What do I say?
Yeah, it is what it is. There's a lot of things that happened and transpired this weekend, both in the NFL and in college. But if you guys want to catch up on the segment, guys, obviously we are live right now. All right, we are live on the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. Those of you who are live with us right now, if you are on the X machine and you are watching us over there, we cannot see any comments that you guys give us. We do want some feedback. We want some questions from you guys. Head over to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. That's where we can answer your guys' questions. Just give it a little clickety clack in the old comment section, and we will answer questions as we go along with the show. If you guys want to follow along with us on X, you can find Shane at Shane Parlay FF. You can find Jason at Jason Parlay FF. And you can find myself at Matt_Parlay FF. If you guys want to tune into the audio version of the podcast, head on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. Give us a follow, subscribe, 5-star review. It does help the show. And don't forget, guys, go over to fantasy6pack.net. Become an all-access member today. Use promo code Parlay FF for 15% off of your membership. What does that come with? Discord access. That comes to access to all of our bets, not just the 3 that we give you guys each and every week. It comes with all that stuff. Discord, lots of stuff on the website that you guys can be involved with. Lots of knowledge over there, lots of articles. So that being said, Jason, let's jump into the segment here. Let's jump into the episode. Do you want to recap any of the NFL stuff, or do you want me to just continue doing my college plays first?
Yeah, go recap the college stuff, then we'll hop into the NFL.
All right. So, guys, this week in college football, last week I did end up going 9-7 overall, right? Overall, I went 9-7. So it ended up being a good week. But unfortunately for the podcast, the picks I gave you guys, I did only end up going 1-2. My darlings, Indiana, they covered. The other 2, unfortunately, did not cover. So if you became an all-access member and you followed all my bets, you came out ahead. You came out with some money. So this week, we're going to try and do better for you guys, especially for the ones that we are giving you here on the podcast, the 3 that we are going. Overall, my record is 61-43, I believe. Let me double check that real quick. 60-43. That is my overall record for college plays. So I'm still doing well, still well above 500. I'm happy with that. So this week, guys, my lock of the week is the Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida Gators over 52.5. And I believe that's what it sits at right now. I think I got it at 52, but I think it's at 52.5. Still like the over there. But here we go. Georgia and Florida continue to have this historic rivalry by playing on a neutral field in this matchup in Jacksonville, right? Both these teams are coming off their second bye week this season, as well as both teams secured wins before entering their week off. Georgia beat Texas and Austin, and Florida dismantled a talented Kentucky team 48-20 at home. Now, Florida's defense is a pretty good defense this year so far, surprisingly, but they have not faced an offense quite as good and explosive as Georgia's. On offense, though, however, there is optimism for Florida here. DJ Lagway under center now showcases and promises as a QB that likes to air it out. His willingness to throw the deep ball is freaking fantastic, and he is pretty efficient at it as well. Out of the 19 qualified QBs in the SEC, he leads the conference in completion percentage and yards per attempt on passes at least 20 yards downfield. This leads me to believe that with the team that they are playing this weekend, they may need that air offense. Okay. He was more efficient than the previous quarterback at Florida, Graham Mertz. Georgia has a stout defense, that's for sure. They are always a very, very explosive and good team. But if you've watched Georgia this year, you have noticed that they get a little bit lax on defense. And I like to say that they kind of take a quarter or two off here and there. And it is very evident. I think that with Georgia's explosive offense, they've got a core of wide receivers that are explosive and talented, and they grade out extremely, extremely high. But with their lack of defense, every once in a while, that leads me to believe that Florida can take a little bit of advantage of this, score some points as well as Georgia, and hit the over of 52 or 52 and a half. I like that number, so go get it before it rises, because I do anticipate that number to go up as the week goes on. Next game, Oregon minus 14 at Michigan. Listen, guys, okay? Shane and Jason know I've been off of Oregon multiple times this year. It's really kind of bit me in the ass, but no more. No freaking more. This Oregon team looks like the most complete team in college football right now, and I am no longer fading them. Michigan did come away with a win last week against their in-state rival, Michigan State, but I don't like the Wolverines. I don't think they are a good enough team to keep up with Oregon, right? I've been off of Michigan a lot this year. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've taken them maybe once this year, right? Oregon's team is too good. Their offense is way too explosive for Michigan's defense. Remember, Michigan is still trying to rebuild. Now, they have gotten better as the years gotten on, but I just don't think the way that Oregon looks right now, poised to make a national title run, I don't think that they're going to let off the gas, especially in this game against a Michigan team that they want to beat because of the name value of Michigan. So I'm taking Oregon minus 14 here. They're going to continue to make their push to make the college football playoffs as well as the national title. I really like them in this spot here, and Oregon can't really afford to take a break on a team. There's still a lot at risk for this organization. So let's go Ducks. Give me a little quack up in here, right? I like Oregon minus 14 in this spot. Last game, guys, Nebraska minus 6.5 versus UCLA. Nebraska's playing at home. We know that they just played an extremely tough game against Ohio State. A few things happened that didn't go Nebraska's way, but they played good defense. They stopped Ohio State's rushing attack. I mean, it looked pretty good, but Nebraska is coming off of 2 straight losses. They're going back home to play a UCLA team that has gotten better. But if you remember me from the part of the season, UCLA, I was never on the UCLA train. That team was in disarray, a complete rebuild from coaches down to players. Nebraska is looking for some revenge here. They cannot afford to lose another game if they want to make a final push at anything. So Nebraska minus 6.5. I like them here in this spot at home versus UCLA. Them are my college plays for this week.
Love it. Love it. You're getting right back where you left off, and that's all we want to see. Like Matt said, if you got the package, you made some money last week with them. And even if you didn't make the money pack, you didn't buy the premium package, you made money with all of our picks in total. So let's go right into our NFL picks from last week. We're going to go over the pod picks for our records that we gave out. And guys, we all went 2-1. And I don't think we can ask for any more than a 6-3 pod record for free picks that we gave out last week. All of our locks hit last week. So if you just were wanting to play the locks, you made money. It was a phenomenal week to tail us, and I'm proud of all of us. We did our research. We're getting better, and I think we're only just going to improve, especially after a wacky 2 or 3 weeks that we just went through. So little quick recap. In total, your boy went 4-2, Matt went 2-2, and Shane went 4-3. All of our locks hit, which pushes Matt and I's lock record to 4-4 for the season, and Shane is in the lead at 5-3. The season totals go to your boys at 21-16. Matt is at 21-17-1, and Shane is at 26-21-1. Boys.
Jason, you're frozen again,
We're doing
brother.
well.
No one can
We're
see
doing
you.
well. Let's keep it up. You
Jason,
can't see me?
No, you're frozen again, brother. There you go. Hello.
There he
Welcome
goes.
back. Yeah, we're having some technical
I was
difficulties.
like,
Jason
what's
out
going
in
on? I was
Texas.
like, I can see myself.
Yeah, Jason out in Texas is struggling with the wind.
Something's up.
It's very windy. It's very
So-
windy.
Jason,
Why don't
sorry
you just-
to interrupt you there, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, you good. You good. I just want to say our total overall record that we did last week was at 10-7. So,
Nice.
boys, we made money. We're going to stay hot.
go.
We're going to get some good picks for y'all. And who wants to go first? Or is it me? No, Matt, you won the head-to-head. I'm going to let you have it this week. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, I'm going first. All right, here we go then. So
Yeah, you
guys,
won the head-to-head. I'll give you it.
hey, I appreciate that, Jason. That's very nice of you to give me that
Shut
for
up.
winning the head-to-head. Okay, yeah. All right, guys. So I'm going to start off with my lock of the week this week. It's the Eagles -7.5 playing at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know this seems like a pretty chalky pick, and it really kind of is. To be honest with you, we were talking before the podcast, and I'm not a big fan of these lines this week, at least not right now, these early lines, these early numbers. But the Eagles at -7.5 seems like one of those picks that you should just lock that in and ride with it, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars, they lost Christian Kirk. Brian Thomas Jr., I do not think is going to play this week. They said earlier it could be a multi-week deal. Gabe Davis got injured last week. Travis Etienne still isn't healthy. Like right now, they have Evan Ingram and
Parker Washington.
and Parker Washington. Big friggin' deal. That doesn't matter to me here, especially playing in Philadelphia where the fans are just ruthless and relentless. I think there's going to be a pretty flustered Jacksonville team in this game. I think the Eagles are going to pretty easily handle the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not handy, Shane. Get that out of your mind, okay? Sorry, everybody. I think they're going to handle the Jacksonville Jaguars this week with a significant ease in this game. So give me the Eagles -7.5 as my lock. Next pick, guys. This is going to be extremely, extremely gross. It's the New York Jets -1.5 against Jason's Houston Texans playing in New York. I know, guys. It kind of made me want to throw up too when I looked at it. But to be honest with you, this is the line that, like, one of the only two lines that I really liked this week. What's going on in New York? They have to get a win, right? And this seems like it would be the perfect spot for New York to do it back at home. Houston Texans have a good team. They really, really do. But Nico Collins is still on IR. Stephon Diggs just got ruled out for this season with the ACL tear. Joe Mixon is a beast, right? He's going to do his thing. But if there is one still slight bright spot for New York on defense, is that they can play pretty decent defense, pretty decent rush defense. I think this week is kind of a down week for Houston. They've got a lot of things to figure out until they can get Nico back. Tank Dell. Sauce Gardner's going to be guarding Tank Dell, and that's like me guarding Jason. I'm 6'3", he's 5'7". So it's going to be a struggle for the Texans this week. CJ Stroud looked out of sorts too last week, even with Stephon Diggs in the lineup, playing against a Colts team that they should have absolutely dominated. When Anthony Richardson is 10 for 32 and they still almost beat the Texans, something was not right last week for the Houston Texans. They are a much, much better team than that. So this week, again, Gross, Aaron Rodgers, something's got to be figured out there in New York. Devonta Adams, Garrett Wilson, you guys got to figure something out. You have to get a win. You don't win this week, who knows what's going to happen? That whole organization is probably going to implode. So give me the Jets minus 1.5 in this week, in this matchup. I think it's just a very good spot for the Jets to get a win here.
Well, they can't fire anybody else, so.
True. Aaron Rodgers is the one that controls the situation there, so they need to figure that out. My next game here, guys, is the Bills-Dolphins. I'm going to take the over 50.5. Both these offenses are historically explosive, and they both can get yards and get points in a hurry. Last week, the Bills looked good. They didn't really have to do much in the second half passing-wise because Amari Cooper only had one catch for like 3 yards or something like that. Keon Coleman balled out. This was the first game back for Tua after the concussion. I think there was a little bit of hesitancy in that game at first. It took him a little bit to get going. I am going to take the over 50.5 here just because I do think there's going to be a lot of points scored at the end of the day. Both these teams can rack up those points in a very, very fast pace. So I'm going to take the over 50.5. Scares me a little bit, but I do like that number. If it gets much higher than that, I might be a little bit more skeptical, but I like the 50.5 just for the simple fact that those two offenses can score a ton of points. So give me that.
I like that. I like that a lot. And also, we lost Jason.
Yes, so, we did.
Hopefully, Buddy joins us back here. In the meantime, I'll just go ahead and let everybody know my picks of the week. Look, I've been rolling along this entire year. So pay heed, Matt. Pay heed. I'm not gonna lie, I almost took the other side on the Texas game. Just to do another head-to-head, just for funsies. And I know Jason's not gonna call out for his team, so but I couldn't pull myself to it. I do think the injuries are too much to mount. So without further ado, my plays of the week: Chargers minus 1.5. Look, this line is completely an overreaction for the Bills. The Chargers are a very solid unit with a substantially better secondary than the Ravens. Jameis will not get as lucky against this squad, considering, Kyle Hamilton quite literally had a pick that he caught 3 times and dropped. And then also additionally, Denzel Ward is in concussion protocol for the Brownies. And that's bad news for that Browns secondary because he is one of the alphas in the room. I know that Greg Newsome has been playing fantastic, but Denzel Ward's a massive loss. I expect the Chargers to take care of business. I had this as Chargers minus 2.5. So to get the value of 1 whole point and to cross the key number of 2 is a massive boost. So go ahead and grab it at Chargers minus 1.5. My second play and my lock of the week, Rams minus 1.5. Look, this Rams defense has been surprisingly good. And most of the issues, while most people thought it was going to be on their front four, has in fact been in their young secondary. This front four has been a very, very solid unit. And I think that will maintain against the Seahawks, who have a lot of injuries on the line. There's a very good chance that DK doesn't play in this game as well. And the Rams have all their weapons back on offense. Like, if this game were to get to a shootout, I'm taking Matt Stafford and his weapons over the weapons that are in Seattle right now. I expect the Rams to pack the box in and not let Kenneth Walker beat them. I have this as a Rams minus 3 on my power rankings. So let me have Rams minus 1.5, and I'll run with it. Last but not least, I have a 6-point teaser. This one's pretty sweet, simple, and easy. I am taking the Eagles to minus 1.5, per what Matt said earlier. And I'm pairing that with the Bills minus 0.5. Listen, Tua is 2.5 or 2 to 14 ATS on the road. He's also 1-6 straight up against Josh Allen. Let me just go ahead and repeat that. 1-6 straight up against Josh Allen. Let me take the Bills to win this game. Let me take the Eagles to absolutely smack this beat up Jaguars team. That's the analysis.
I like those picks. I actually really like I like all those picks. Yeah.
And I have a fun bonus one for when we do our underdog pick. So stay tuned for our underdog parlay. If you guys have not been sticking around for that, it's always a fun one. So Jason, without further ado, buddy, you want to give us your picks?
Yeah, I'll be quick, and I'm going to save the one I'm teetering with for last. I might phone a friend for that. So anyways, Vikings is my lock. Vikings -5, home versus the Colts. I like it. Joe Flacco does scare me. We all know we talked about fading AR. Yes, we get Joe Flacco, who is a more seasoned quarterback, but I think the Vikings, especially at home, will give the Colts fits on offense. Give me the Vikings to have a bounce back week and get right in the win column. I love them at this point. Next, give me the Cards. Let's go, Kyler. Hey, the Call of Duty didn't mess him up last week, and I'm going to ride with the hot hand. Eberflus messed up that game last week, so I don't really trust what's going on in that offense. We haven't seen the Bears offense with Caleb Williams look the best this year, and it's just been stagnant. They're relying on their defense. I think Kyler's playing one of his better games right now in the season. I like Kyler to stay hot. Cards +1, right? It's going back and forth, y'all.
Yeah, it's right now. It's Cardinals +1.
Phone a friend. I'm asking for this. Do you hate the Titans 38-39 under Pats?
I don't. I think that it makes a lot of sense. Both of these teams are pretty atrocious, and I think that it leans towards the under.
I think I'm going to lead that way. I had Titans at -3.5, but I like the under. Is it 38 or 39 right now?
I have it at 38.
All right, yeah, we're doing 38. Give me the Titans Pats at under 38. The one stat that I do have is the Jets last week versus the Pats was the first team to lose since week 3 of 2012 to a team that only had 247 yards total.
Yes.
And with Jacoby Brissett, yeah, I don't think that's going to be anywhere better. So give me them. I'm changing it up. Titans, Pats, under 38, and hold your breath. Don't watch this game.
Yeah, it's going to be gross. It's going to be gross.
Yeah.
Just don't tune in. Just expect to check the hit later.
Yeah, go to a different game.
Guys, and we need to get right week for our dog parlay. We've already hit one this year, and it was one of our bigger ones that we've hit. I think we do have a decent-sized one this week, and Shane has an interesting play that we're going to allow for this week. So, Shane, with all due, you got the floor.
Awesome. So our dog parlay of the week. Listen, I'm going to start it off with the hottest of takes here. I am taking the Denver Broncos second half money line. The Ravens have given up they've given up the most second half points in the NFL this year. I expect them to be leading at half. They don't come out especially well, and Sean Payton's one of the best coaches at making changes in the second half. So give me Bo Nix to lead us to victory. That number is available on DraftKings at +210, but shop. That was the only place that I looked. That was the book that I used on this one.
I really do like that, dude, for real. Like, Bo Nix is such a treat to watch. If you have not had a chance to go and watch him play football in the National Football League yet, it is a treat. It is an absolute treat to watch him. I love that pick, Shane. Jason, I'm going to jump in here. My underdog parlay pick is the New York Giants +3.5 at home playing my darling Jaden Daniels, guys. I don't fade the Commanders very much, and I really don't like fading them in this spot. But listen here, the Giants, they need a get-right week, right? They played okay against the Steelers. They did make some mistakes, but for the most part, they didn't look too terribly bad. It's hard to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, especially when their defense is playing the way it's playing. Daniel Jones didn't look especially well in the second half, but he played okay in the first half. I think this is a get-right week for them. They need a win in the worst of ways. I think they can get right here. I like the Giants plus 3.5 at home. Playing
money line.
Washington, money line. I keep saying plus 3.5. I like the Giants here, money line at home against the Washington Commanders. They're going to lose a game at some point. This seems like a good situational spot for the Giants and the Commanders to lose.
Well, and we all know the Commanders' best side of the ball is offense. It's not defense. Even though the defense did step up last week. So
right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to round it out right here, guys, I'm going to fade the hottest team in football. Give me the Green Bay Packers to win and upset the Lions at home. I like a home dog. I love a home dog, actually. I know Jordan Levitt is banged up with his groin, but at the same time, I feel like they're going to show up versus one of their biggest rivals. We all know that everybody's going to be up on the Lions, down the Packers. I feel like the Packers will come out, and they'll come out hot. We'll see how the Lions react getting punched in the face, but I like the Packers here in this spot. Shane, do you have a total number for the parlay?
I will just here in a sec. If for some reason it kicked me out while I was clicking it. The total is plus 1964.
Okay, so not our biggest. We're going kind of conservative on this one, but I like the number.
Yeah, I like
plus 1964.
Anything over plus 1,000, boy. I like that number.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, we were getting kind of ballsy with some plus 3,000.
Although you did hit the largest of the odds last week with the brownies, Jason. So props to that. We let you down. We're sorry.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as the one song goes, I got 5 on it. So yeah, let's roll with it. Other than that, I don't think we got anything else, do we?
Nope. I think that's gonna wrap up the episode, guys. Remember everything I said at the beginning of the episode. Go tune into all the YouTube channel, Fantasy Six Pack, FantasySixPack.net. Become an all access member. Parlay FF to get 15% off your all access membership. Check us out on all our social media accounts, guys. And don't forget to go over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe, comment, leave 5-star review, guys. If any of these lines change, these are our early week bets. These are our early week numbers. If anything changes, we will put that out there, right? We will make sure that we get something out there if anything changes. Shane, did you have anything there?
No, I was saying 5 stars, but I realized that I put my hand up on the wrong side because
I was like, wait, I saw like your hand like this.
Way 5 stars. All right.
Yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. You guys know what to do.
Hey, it's been fun. It's been real. Go ahead and let the dogs bark again this week. What do you say?
Yeah, pray for my Texans, and Matt's a dick for fading them this week.
Got to do it every once in a while. Guys, until next episode, we love you all to the moon and back. Peace out.